Hi, I'm Shiv, and Happy New Year! I hope you had a great holiday. As you can tell, this is a little bit of a different video, especially from the time length. I am celebrating this last holiday Sunday special. A lot of you tomorrow are going back to school or work. A lot of you already have. Well, anyways, I hope you had a great time catching up with loved ones over the holiday season and a good time to just kind of relax. Well, I have some new, adventures I'd like to embark on this year in several different areas of my life. What New Year goals have you made? Is anyone doing New Year's resolutions? I know for sure I want to run and blog again, meaning actually blog, so type it out and kind of stuff. Maybe I will blog, and if I do, it'll be tonight. So maybe if there's a blog link down below, then I succeeded. If not, it'll be in a few days, but for sure in January 2019. So yeah, what are your New Year goals or your New Year resolutions? Feel free to share if you want to. But this all means that I kind of need to change the pace of my channel so that I'm thinking on the fourth Fridays of every month, we can enjoy a full feature episode, a full adventure of culture and love together. And then the first, second, third Fridays of the month, we can kind of do this, I don't know, what should we call it? Like a Q&A Friday or food for thought flash, I don't know. Probably sounds really corny, but maybe you can help me comment below what should we call these Fridays, or not, I'll figure it out. On the special months when there's 5 Fridays, we'll do a double adventure episode, so 2 adventures of culture and love in a month. Looking forward to this month's adventure. For now, here's the question I want us to kind of consider. Are you a religious person? So religion and culture, a lot of what culture is and religion is behavior, right? Yeah, for sure, there's beliefs in there as well. But a lot of what culture and religion is a way of doing things, right? For sure, a way of perceiving things and believing things, understanding and accepting things, sure, but how it translates into behavior is huge for culture and huge for religion, in IMO, right, in my opinion. And so a lot of times when people ask me, are you religious, or if I'm having to check off on a form religious affiliation, yeah, it's a trouble place for me. So I'll usually say no if we don't have time to have a conversation, just because to say yes kind of opens up this vulnerability of being tied together with toxicity that is perceived by usually the word religion, or more precisely organized religion. But just say it depends on what you mean sometimes can feel like a cop-out if we actually don't have time to have a conversation about what it means. And so yeah, I usually just say no. And a lot of people who say no say they're spiritual but they're not religious, or spiritual but not affiliated. And here's the thing. I was looking up in funny, it's right here, my Strong's Exhaustive Concordance of the Bible with Hebrew and Greek dictionaries. Pretty cool book. To kind of see in the texts that Christians adhere to, right, the Bible, a canon of 66 books, how many times does religion appear? And it says here, about a handful of times. It's not a whole lot. It's just once when someone's talking about the religion of the Pharisees, And another when it's talking about the religion of the Jews, which by the way, I checked that further and it's not necessarily in the original manuscript, it's really just Judaism. But then there is one instance when religion is not just mentioned as a word, but actually described. And that's in the book of James, which is traditionally accepted by scholars of the Bible as someone who was the half-brother of Jesus. Jesus being like the major protagonist of the biblical canon. And here the half-brother has come to accept the claims that Jesus made of his identity. And then says in James chapter 1, verse 27, that here is the pure religion that is acceptable before God. And it says basically that it is the religion that is acceptable and pure is that which takes care of the orphans and the widows in their times of distress and keeps one essentially from being corrupt, right? So, well, I guess if we're talking about taking care of vulnerable people in their greatest time of need and, you know, keeping a character that is not corrupt, a character that's, I guess, one of honor or valor, it's basically loving, right? Then yeah, I would be a religious person. I definitely care for the vulnerable among us, and I care to keep the toxicity out. And if that means that my behavior is affected by that as a guiding principle, then yeah, I would love for my behavior to be affected by that religion. So am I a religious person? In that context, in that kind of spirit of taking care of the vulnerable and taking out the toxicity. Yeah. That is not to say that I don't think that a group of people coming together and saying, hey, you know, this is how we should believe and we should behave and this is how everybody else should believe and behave, can't lead to corruption. No, we definitely see a lot of examples of that in history. But I do think that a group of people coming together to take care of the vulnerable and to heal those affected from toxicity and to, yeah, I guess like keep each other accountable to live according to that kind of way of doing things, which culture is a way of doing things, then yeah, that's actually a really beautiful way to look at religion. And in that context and by that definition, I'd say, yeah, I'm down to be considered religious. Are you a religious person? How do you define religion? Thanks for joining me on this last holiday Sunday special for the season. Happy New Year, and I hope you come back next Friday for another short conversation. Oh my gosh, it's like 9 minutes. That's okay. All right, so I guess not like a couple minutes, but you know, it's unedited and raw. So yeah, I hope you were a little more in cultured and a little more in awe of love. Stay in awe and remember, you are awesome.